Well, hey, good evening, beautiful people. It's yours truly, Tammy B, coming to you with another session of Real Talk with Tammy B and Company, the show where we are recording live so that you amazing people can engage with us
Yes, sir.
via the YouTube chat. So if you are watching this via another platform, and want to engage in our conversation, jump on over to YouTube at thassawoman so that you can engage with us. And I do want to say I apologize. We had some technical difficulties all the way around tonight. Even some of the guys are still having technical difficulties. But one thing I do believe is that we're going to push through and we are going to be okay. So please forgive our tardiness, but I tell you guys all the time, this is the show where we so live, unedited, unfiltered. Mistakes will happen, but we just keep it moving. All right. So, I do want to also ask if you are on YouTube, please, sir, please, ma'am, engage with us. Ask us questions, drop us comments, even say good evening to the fellas. Like I said, some more are coming. Technical difficulties have arrived. And you know what? In a quick second, I may bring up the my theory behind the technical difficulties. But I do want to say that if you are not part of our community, I invite you to join us by subscribing as we are here weekly at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content. And if you enjoy our conversation, I ask for your support by clicking the like button and or sharing this conversation with others. And then to the men, yes, the men, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Time is coming. It is almost time for our first men's only transformational conference. Pause, breathe, bro, you matter. This will be taking place on Saturday, August 1st. And let me tell you, hold on, I'm trying to share my screen. I am multitasking. I am excited about this. Had a meeting with the fellas, and let me tell you guys, the topics that they are planning to talk to you guys about, this is going to be a life-changing experience. And one of the things that was a total consensus, one of the consensus was that we want you guys to be able to ask whatever questions. And I promise you, when you hear some of the stories that are going to come forth, you're going to have questions. And so we're going to make sure you guys have time for questions. And then, because the goal with that is to make sure that we do not open up some things and leave you unattended. So, we're going to make sure that we are a support system. We're going to provide resources for you. And then, let me also say this week, this week until Monday, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. So go on over to Eventbrite and get your ticket today. We want you in the building. And if you can't make the physical building and you still want to be a part, you can get purchase a virtual ticket where you will still have access to that for viewing up to 30 days later. So definitely you want to be a part of this. So listen, buy one, get one free. After that, tickets go back up to the regular price. But I promise you, you want to be a part of this. All right. Because this was put together for you. Now, it is that time where express my gratitude for you all being here with us, as amazing as you are. And you know, this is the third Wednesday of the month, and this is our monthly Real Men, Real Talk conversation, to which we do have my man, Mr. Shelly Sims, who is with us this evening. Good evening, Shelly. You know you muted, right? You know you muted.
Yeah, I
Right.
clicked unmute. I'm moving slow. I'm in the grade too.
You
But
in the grave.
yeah, but hello everyone. Hello, all that good stuff. You missed it.
Okay, so but So let me tell you guys what grade he's talking about. But first, let me say this. And then next, we have returning special guests who's gonna probably become a staple with Real Men Real Talk. We have Mr. Reginald Alpine, who is the author, actor himself. Good evening, Alpine.
Good evening, Tammi. How you doing today? What's up, big dog? How you feel today? You all right? You know what it is. Like, thank you guys for tuning in.
Man, listen, we so I you know me, I am amazing. I am amazing. I am amazing and I'm grateful and I'm so grateful that you here. I'm excited about our conversation cuz we got some ish to talk about. But one
Right.
thing I want to talk about, Shelly just mentioned the grade, right? So a while back I gave the whole explanation as to what he was talking about, but I know there's still some unbelievers, and that's okay. I am to the point in life, right? You can hear things, you don't have to agree with them. That's what makes life, the variety, the spice of life. But we were talking about Mercury retrograde. And I see my man Rondi just popped in. Good evening,
Yes,
Rondi.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello, hello.
yes. Yes,
Good
so we
evening.
were talking about Mercury retrograde, and for those who don't know about it, like Mercury affects communication and technology. And so it's like all these little technical difficulties because William is still not on. William usually be the first one here. So and he's saying he's having computer issues. Robert is trying again to get on and having computer issues, but like I say, we keep it moving. So, hey, Rondi, how you doing? How you doing, my man?
I'm, let's see, how am I doing? Um, at this moment, I'm doing well. It's been a good day. It's been a busy day. It's been a productive day. I would say that much. It's been a real productive day. Um, and I feel good. My body feels good. I don't have a lot of stress right now, so to complain about.
You out of
Okay.
school, right?
I'm out of school. Yeah, yeah. You know, you know, when we go back in the fall, ooh, I be needing my time. I be needing my time.
I know. And so Alpine, and for those who don't know the story about it, like towards the Rondi, what is it that you teach there, Rondi?
I teach mindfulness.
Mindfulness. And somewhere around the April, May-ish time frame, Rondi was on here. He's like, man, I teach these kids mindfulness so they are truthful about their feelings. So it's literally like I'm looking at them and they looking at me and they like, we tired of looking at each other.
Yeah, they was ready for the school year to end. They're like, I'm ready to get up out of here. Um, you cool, Coach D, Rondi, but I'm ready to go. Yeah, so
Well, good. I'm glad you're getting your break. I'm glad you're getting your break. And I see William made it on. William, good evening, King.
Good evening.
William. It's okay. We already know what's going on with technology right now, so it's all good. It's all good. You good. You good. We already got you covered. So Alpine, how were you today? How was your day?
You know, I got to find the unmute button real quick. You know, that cursor be moving all over the place when you want it. But actually, I had a really productive day. One thing that I learned today is that no matter what happens, we have to find a way. We're resourceful. We always have been. We
Mm-hmm.
have to find a way to deal with those matters, not allow it to derail us, and know that there is an existence on the other side of through. And so we just have to make it through it and make it to the other side, whether it's technology, whether it's relationship, whether it's um, challenges with your kids, there is another side. And one thing that I've learned today is be patient enough and be forward thinking and forward moving till I make it to the other side of
Look at you coming
mm,
on with a Wisdom Wednesday nugget.
through.
Right. I love that. I
So,
love that. Yes, yes. William, how was your day?
It's all right. It's a lot going on, but I'm all right.
Oh,
I don't have nothing good to say. My day is rough. Still
oh.
getting calls for work at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. I don't want to deal with that
mm,
right now. So I didn't respond, so they'll get me tomorrow because they don't pay me to respond after 4.
Look at you setting them boundaries.
Yeah, I'm fat. That's fact. I don't do
Yeah.
that.
Look, see, this mindfulness community, because that's exactly what you have to do. You have to set those boundaries. And Shells, how was your day? And what's
Mm,
good with you?
Today was today was unproductive. I don't know what I just couldn't get in it today. I sat here trying to think of stuff to do, knowing I got a million things to do, but you know, other than that, it's good. I think time. I call it a long time to reflect. So just reflecting, trying to figure it out.
But you know what? I don't know. I just feel, excuse me, I feel there's something in the universe. Because Shelly, I can't even lie to you. But only thing for me is I had to make stuff happen with the conference coming up. But it took me a minute too. My wheels were spinning. I
Hmm.
was spinning like in the mud for for a minute, and then finally, okay, I got that momentum and took off. So I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you. Because I also think I was feeling that way yesterday too. So, but that's okay. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. Okay, so let me jump in and give our mental health tip of the day, which this is so important right now with everything that we're talking about. Alpine saying, you got to keep moving. We talking about wheel spinning, William boundaries, and still being contacted after work hours and all that good stuff. So listen, the mental health tip of today is to have a daily anchor from work to daily commute to family. Wait a minute, hold on. From work to the daily commute to family and life responsibilities, our days can feel jam packed. It is recommended that creating a daily anchor that can fit into even the busiest of days. Maybe it is a 10-minute walk during your lunch break or mindfully enjoying your coffee in the morning. Let your anchor adapt to your needs each day, but be intentional about using that time to ground yourself and calm your nervous system, which right now I think the world, if we're not grounded and meditating, our nervous systems are out of control, especially with some of the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. You might even say to yourself, I choose this walk to help me become centered, or my day already feels stressful, so I'm going to take the next 10 minutes to enjoy this coffee. I'm going to feel this warm mug in my hand, and I'm just going to be present. So
mm.
know this, having an anchor won't erase the busyness from your day, but it will allow you to approach it more calmly. So, Rondi, I heard you going on that.
No, it sounds so yogic to me, being present at the present moment without thinking about the past or thinking about the future, just thinking about right now. So yeah, I agree. I I agree to get your feet flat on the floor, feel the ground, feel the support you got, right?
Yes.
And just be in the moment, just be in that present moment. Don't think about what's going to happen in the future because uh, you know, uh, just be. Yeah.
I love that because let me tell you. So, the anchor that I'm working on, and I'm glad I paused to let you go. The anchor that I am working on is to be present, because so now when I feel scattered and all over the place, I will literally take a breath and say, stay present in the moment. you have to and bring myself back to center, and I believe it makes a huge difference. And as a matter of fact, I am becoming more present when I am driving, and because of this, I'm opening my awareness more, and I am really starting to see things that I have never noticed before. Driving these same paths and same roads,
Mm.
I am starting to see different things. So listen, it's so important that you stay, find that anchor, ground yourself, because it's pivotal to your mental health. All right. So, our question for tonight, guys. I like this question. You'll hear why when I give you my answer. I like this question. Is there a book or movie that has influenced your perspective on life? Is there a book or movie that has influenced your perspective on life? Into the chat, if you would like to answer that question, feel free to do so if you are in position. Anybody want to jump in? I know y'all. Come on now. I know y'all got something for me.
Well, without question, one of the books that really, I'll do a movie later, but one of the books that have been profound for me is The Alchemist. Now, the reason why The Alchemist is so profound to me, it not only chronicle a journey of exploration and the ability to find strength within, the high level, like underlying meaning of it is you could go as far as you want to and experience a lot of things. Everything that you have always needed at the beginning of your journey, even at the end, was always in you from the
Mm,
beginning. You just had to go through these things to learn it for yourself, that it has always been in you. And so when I look at things that happen in my life, or when I have a task that it seems like is a daunting task, I remember that book and says it's already in you. You may not see it, you may not can understand it, you may not have touched it or experienced it yet, but it's in you. And this situation is just trying to bring it out of you. So that was a profound thing. But if you haven't read The Alchemist, please grab The Alchemist. It's an easy read. It's fictional, but it has a lot of life lessons in it. So mine would be The
Mm.
Alchemist.
I, you know what, I am excited about that because I heard about that book. I did start listening to it and got distracted, so now I need to set the intention to go back to it, because I had heard from multiple sources that that is a powerful book.
Mm,
And I love what you just said when you said every answer, everything we need is inside of us. And what's interesting about you saying that, which I wasn't going to even talk about this today, but I listened to a video today where a guy was sharing his near death experience. And he said in his conversation with God and the other side, he said that he learned just what you just said. Everything is already within us,
mm,
and it's really us getting back to knowing who we are.
mm.
And so
Right.
that is just so powerful what you just said, and just like another, I guess somebody needed to hear that, because I knew it, but somebody else needed to hear that. And when you're
Mm.
looking outside, you're looking in the wrong places.
Amen.
You're
Definitely.
looking in the wrong places. Good one. Good one. I see we lost William, but I already know. So who wants to go next? Rondi or Shelly?
I'll go. I'm gonna just say, piggybacking off of Alpine, I think the 48 Laws of Power is a book that had a
The
big influence on me because I use it every day. Like it's something in there that applies to something in life that I always manage to recall it and use it and win in the situation at hand. Yeah.
4 day powers of
48 Laws of Power.
48 hour laws of power. I heard about that book.
Yeah.
I heard about that book. I
That
haven't.
book is the truth. The truth.
Okay, 48 laws of power. Okay. And I think for some reason I feel like it's on my to watch aka listen list. That's how I get a lot of my information. Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Shells. I gotta
Yeah.
pay top to that one, but I definitely already know it's a good one.
It's a
Rondi,
deep
what you say is a deep one?
it's a deep read. But you have to have when you read the 48 laws of power, you have to actually be in a mindset because it can come across like you learning how to manipulate people,
Hmm.
but you actually have to understand it's teaching you how to read people,
That's it.
how to read the environment, not
Mm.
necessarily to use all these things, but know when to use them and know when it's being used on you,
That's what
and
I was
that's
gonna
important,
say. It taught me how not to fall victim to a lot of it.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great
But
book.
it ain't a difficult read, but you gotta be in the mood for it, I think is the right word.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
and you also got to be open. If you're a
Mm,
closed-minded person, that doesn't sound like that's a book that you can pick up and read. Also, too, if a person with bad intentions probably,
right, right.
especially when
And
you
that,
just said about manipulation and stuff like that.
gotcha. But even a good one, 50 of Law, with Green and 50 Cent. Now that's an
Yes.
excellent read as well. So they had the
Yes.
48 laws, and then they had the 50 of law, and it was the author Green and 50 Cent. But if you have the opportunity to do the 50 of law, that's an inspirational book.
Wow, Robert is still they giving him all kind of trouble getting on. So Rondi, but I like that. So I definitely when I go back and listen to this, I'm going to write these down because I go back and listen to them.
Mm.
And one thing I noticed when I go back and listen, I'll hear something be like, "Man, I should have said such and such." I see where I do that a lot.
Yeah,
I'm like, when I'm listening calmly, not live, it's like, oh dang, if I would have had time, I would have said this. Or if I did the editing thing, I would.
gotcha.
But I still love the way I do that because again, this is keeping moving. This is keeping moving. Rondi, what you got for me?
Okay. It's a book, and I just wanted, before I start, has anyone here in the audience read the book Sky Full of Elephants?
Mm. Oh,
It's recent.
Sky full of elephants?
Sky Full of Elephants.
No, tell
We
us.
read this book. We read this book out here, and I got a group of folks to read this book. After we got finished reading this book, the book club that we want to discuss the book afterwards, after we finish reading it, the book club was like 30 to 40 people meeting for 4 weekends in a row. That's how influential this book was. Um, and this book is all about tuning into a frequency that is um, more us. And like if you think now, the way we move, the way we were taught, that is a European frequency,
Mm.
right? And what he's saying is that it's a story. It's a story about the world ending, and and if we didn't have this European frequency in our ear 24/7, this other frequency would come out. This African frequency would be expanded, and we would be different. We would hear this frequency, and we would be different. It would change us, the frequency. That's all I'm going to say about it. Because in case folks want to read about this book, read this book. It's called Sky Full of Elephants.
I wonder if Miss Sylvia know about this one, but I'm going to make sure she does if she don't, because that is something that be right. She one just based on what you just said, she already would be in agreement with you with the European frequency and stuff like that. But even to that, right? regardless of what frequency that is being put out in the universe, this is where, going back to what we were talking about earlier, mindfulness and grounding and staying present, because you have the power to tune that out. Even sicknesses, illnesses, things in your body, you allow them in. So it's up to you to go to the higher frequency. And I do feel that a lot of people are coming into the consciousness and awareness of the higher frequencies and are doing the work to raise their frequency so that they don't stay on this. But you're right, like that's what the distractions with social media and all the other stuff is, to keep people tangled and tied into this low vibrational frequency. So yeah, that was a good one. Thank you for sharing. All three of these have been good.
And
William.
I
Oh,
checked
go
this
ahead.
out. I hope this is it. So it has a head with it's from Campbell, right? I'm gonna put this in my cart
Yes.
right now. A Sky Full of Elephants. It looks like it's gonna be an excellent read. Thank you for it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, to see this what I love. Real talk. We be bringing some good information. Yes. William. What book or movie has influenced your perspective on life, sir?
I don't have a book, but it was not even a movie because I don't watch a lot of movies like that. That's will relate to my life. But I know people in my life have inspired things for me. Just one, and then what I've been through and what I've seen in these 54 years. So I can't even respond to that one because I don't watch a lot of movies and stuff like that. That would be that I would take in and be like, that's something that I can relate to or things like that. And I don't read because I read at work all the time.
I
Don't
got
get,
you.
you know what I'm saying? That's just not my thing.
No. I got you. I got you. Okay, so for me, I'm going to give you both. I have a movie and a book. So
Ooh,
for me, the movie for me that changed my perspective is The Matrix.
hmm.
Um,
Mm.
and I'll be honest, when I first saw The Matrix some 20 plus years ago, even though after repeatedly watching it, I still didn't get the message. All I just know is that I loved how Neo contorted himself and the action, and I just love the action of the movie because I'm an action junkie. But then later on, when I really understood it and the message, it went from being one of my favorite movies to being my top favorite movie, because I really understand one that I understand everybody don't agree. Don't It's okay. We all get to have different perspectives, but we are in a matrix in this school called Earth right now. But that's a
Yeah.
wisdom Wednesday conversation. Unless the guys want to talk about it, it's up to y'all. But then
Yeah.
my book, the book slash documentary that changed my perspective on life, is The Secret, which introduced me to the
Uh,
law of attraction.
Attraction. Hmm.
And that sent me on my spiritual awakening. And eventually I came across the science of mind, which was The Secret on steroids.
Hmm.
So it's just like, whoa. So the journey, once I became got on that path, the struggle, it was kind of a struggle because my upbringing and teachings and that information there was, or let me say, maybe the way that it was being taught or whatever was conflicting. And so, but I had to take in like the mindset of Morpheus when he told Neo, once you take that red pill and open your mind, you can't go back. So I just went on down the rabbit hole. So my consciousness has expanded and it's like big for me. It's big for me.
That's
Okay. So
amazing. Can I give a movie?
yeah, go for it.
B. I'll give you a movie. But thank you for your because like I said, The Matrix changed me too, and I love The Secret. If you have never read it, please pick it up. It is eye opening. It's the foundation of understanding how powerful we truly are when we vibrate and think that we are. But another movie that really changed my life, and people think it's funny, but Training Day. Training Day was something that was pivotal. It taught me that people that you believe that's supposed to look out for you may be the same people who's going to be against you. And those people that you assume that shouldn't be for you sometimes will be your best advocate. It also identified the idea where if your purpose is ingrained in ill-gotten gain,
Mm-hmm.
you will find yourself doing things that is beyond what you believed was the pale for you to be able to gain it. But no matter how big you are in that particular space, there's always somebody bigger than you. So it kind of like it created the environment where there was always duality or balance. There's always levity and there's always justice, even if you don't believe justice is taking place when you are in a position where you are abusing the power that you have. So there's a tremendous a lot of power that we have when it comes to understanding who we are and what we are, but we have a responsibility on how to use that power because there's always a power that's greater than ours.
Nice. And as you were saying that, and when you talking about the balance, what was popping in my head, even with like a lot of the chaos going on in the world, at some point nature will correct itself.
Yes, sir.
Nature will correct itself. So, good. I love this. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. All right. Y'all know I always have a video for you guys. So I want you guys' perspective on it. And yeah, let me just go ahead and get it started.
Asking me what happens to men who sleep around and how does it biochemically affect them. Hi, my name is Shay, your love diva. I am a master certified love strategist, voted top 5 love coach in the entire world. However, I'm the best in the world at helping women to up level into high value wives and attract their high value, masculine, marriage minded husbands. I'm also a scientist. I graduated pre-med biology and I did pharmaceutical sales. And I am the only woman in the world, only love coach who actually did a dating experiment of going on over 100 dates in a little over 3 months and interviewing over 4,000 men, women, and couples and studying the science of attraction. So I told you a video on how his DNA stays in your body and how it influences and changes your body for life, how it rewires your DNA. However, the truth is that in 10 ways, I'm getting ready to tell you how you also influence his body, how a man who sleeps around is actually detrimental to you and him when he practices a lack of self-discipline and self-control. So let's get into it. Ladies, now, here's the deal that you must understand. There is a cost to a man when he has a higher body count. While he's collecting bodies, his body, his energy, his mind are all paying the price. So let me show you exactly how. According to science, he dies sooner. A man who has a lot of partners means that he has a shorter lifespan. Per science, his life expectancy decreases on average by 7 years due to chronic inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and cellular exhaustion, according to the Journal of Sexual Medicine 2017. The second way of him having a high body count affects him for life is that it increases his risk of cancer. It puts his prostate in danger. Frequent exposure to HPV increases as he continues to have sex with multiple women. Even with a condom, ladies, a condom is not 100% foolproof. So the HPV exposure raises his risk of prostate and penile cancer, according to Harvard Health of 2016. Number 3, his brain stops responding. What does that mean? Too much novelty sex shuts down his oxytocin and vasopressin pathways. These are the pathways that lead to him being able to bond, commit, and want to provide for you. So a man who just sleeps around, he starts to lose the ability to want to provide, want to be a man, decreasing the probability of him being a good husband and a good father. That was according to the evolutionary psychology of 2012, because I know you guys like the studies cited. Number 4, his testosterone crashes. Partner switching and over ejaculation drops his masculine drive and clarity. These are the kind of men that want you to chase them. They're not the kind of man that's rooted and grounded in his masculine energy to be the ones that's going to pursue the woman that he's interested in, according to the University of Notre Dame of 2014. Number 5, he absorbs her DNA. Just like you're absorbing his DNA, he's also absorbing all the women that he slept with DNA. So even if he gets a vasectomy, he's still taking in micro DNA and proteins from her body, according to NIH bioarchives of 2019. Number 6 effect of a man who's for the streets is that his immune system weakens. His body stays in low-grade inflammation from repeated exposure to new bacteria, according to the Journal of Reproductive Immunology of 2013. And number 7, he becomes emotionally numb. Casual sex disrupts emotional regulation, lowers empathy, and increases selfishness. These men are more likely to be selfish. They're more likely to just want to take from you and not be willing to give to you, which will drain your energy. It will drain your feminine energy, driving you more into your masculine energy. Number 8, he loses his masculine polarity. What does that mean? His masculine energy decreases. His life force drains. Without sacred intention, he becomes reactive, not rooted, according to the Taoist sexual practice. Man Tang Chaya. I don't think I said that right, but it's MANTAK CIA. Number 9, he stores her trauma. Every woman he lays with leaves energy behind: grief, fear, and shame. It attaches to his nervous system. That means if he sleeps with a woman who is battling depression, anxiety, different kinds of trauma, that also goes into his body. That stays with him energetically, and he just transfers it on to the next woman that he sleeps with, according to the Heart Math Institute of 2011. And last but certainly not least is that he ages faster. Sexual excess without alignment accelerates telomere breakdown and cellular aging. What does that mean? Your telomere length, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks about this a lot. That is what determines your age, your cellular age, and your potential lifespan. So if he's having sex, he's shortening his telomere length, and that means that he's aging much faster. He's more likely to die sooner, according to the International Journal of Andrology of 2010. Ladies, let's just tell ourselves the truth. This is the reason why you got to be more selective, ma'am. This is why I keep telling you, stop chasing the charm. Stop chasing the man that looks and smells good and has all the perfect words to say, and start choosing a man of character. Choose the man who has discipline, the man who's spiritually grounded, self-actualized, the one who protects his body, his energy, and his seeds. The man who isn't for the streets, who isn't for anyone. He chooses the one for him with intention because he's choosing himself. And baby, sometimes that nice guy is the divine masculine man your soul has been craving and praying for. If you want my help to be able
to... All right. What y'all got for me?
I'm gonna let somebody else start with that one, boy.
I knew that was a mouthful. Well, look, a soldier's dream done put it in the chat already. She put sounds like like stress, a man hater, and never specialized in any of her listed credentials. What the hell? WTH.
Yeah. Well, when she first started off, she was talking about her accolades. That's a turn off for me right there. You know, that you talking about, and then you're talking about men, and just because you're giving stats, that doesn't validate. And you talking about body count, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. But not all men are like that. I don't even know what to say. And she's doing it all in her car. So
I know, I was like, is she driving or somebody driving her?
Driving her, right.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. And everybody wants to be an expert on relationships, men, and how they supposed to respond to certain things. And I get what she's saying, but I don't know. I just that's my thought.
If you wanted to just go ahead, Ronnie.
Randy. she was so collegiate like.
Mm-hmm.
She went and then she backed it up with this source here and this source there, you know. Um, I knew one of the folks she was talking about, Mantak Chia is how you say his name, and he talks about uh, semen as your life force,
Mm-hmm.
and you should hold on to your life force. You shouldn't. He's like even when you're with your woman, you don't always
Mm-hmm.
have to ejaculate. He talks about that pretty. It's a really thick book about not ejaculating, not letting your life force go. Um, Better said than done, right? Um,
Right.
so, I, you know, I I agree with the one thing I definitely agree with her, like you said, the mental aspect of a man sleeping around. Really attached. He's not going to mentally attach to anyone, and so and I'm not so sure if someone's sleeping, having a lot of sex means that you live, your life is cut shorter. You can have a lot of sex with your
Partner. Mm-hmm.
partner, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I, I wanted her to clarify that more. To was it the different partners or was it just the amount of sex? You know,
Good point.
so I was confused there.
Right. So
Yeah.
and listening to her, like statistics can be used however you want to use them, and they sound great. If you listen to a lot of her statistics, they were from studies that were extremely old. Understand we're in 2016. She's doing 2014, 2011, and I understand it's still a study. I respect that. But if you just wanted to say, be mindful, ladies, of the men that you sleep with, because the other people they slept with will impact you, just say that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't come in trying to act like you're an authority because you can cite dynamics. So here's the idea. I think that R made a great point. There's a 30-day challenge that married couples are doing, saying that they're being intimate every day for 30 days. Are you saying that if you do that, you know, it diminishes your capacity to build or develop with your spouse or your partner? Or are you just saying if you had 10 guys, or if like our body counts is just important as your body count as a female? Is that true? And I'm not saying that we don't change energies. I'm not saying that DNA is not transferred in that particular space, but also saying that listen, you had historical accounts of men sleeping with multiple women for literally centuries. Yeah. Are you saying that there's always been a dysfunction, and what maybe sometimes the dysfunction is how we relate to each other in an intimate space? So how is it that just because I have a lot of partners that now I am putting on you the stresses of all my other partners? I'm not saying that it can't happen, but are you saying that this is a fact as it relates to the population that you deal with? Because we oftentimes talk about a phantom population of people that we're not even familiar with, and it's all printed words that creates this perception. What does it really mean?
Mm,
Wow.
mm,
That's good. And you know what, as you guys are talking, I just had the idea, since we do live look at a lot of, the Bible. So I've looked it up. King David had 8 wives and 10 concubines. So would that shorten his life? And then it says King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines.
Mhm. Yeah, and you
So
never
what?
look at what about the stress of just being able to be a provider and actually being a man and feeling the stress of trying to navigate a social space to be the man that you desire to be or that God desires to be. That's stressful. And I'm not saying
right.
being women are not being stressful, but there is a stress where you have the responsibility of, if you are actual a man, you have a responsibility of your tribe. You have a responsibility of everybody in your house. those are stressors. When they go through stressors, you got their stress. Plus, if you got a wife and 2 kids, if my daughter goes through some stress, I got the stress of how my wife does with it, how my son deals with it, how I deal with it, and how she's dealing with it. Because I take on the responsibility of being cohesive in my household. That's stressful in those
Mhm.
particular spaces. I know women have stresses as well in those
Mhm.
spaces. So why wouldn't that be a greater indicator of my life expectancy being short? Because I'm taking on all of this responsibility inside or stress inside for others.
Hmm.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. Shelly, I know you got something to say, but I
Mhm.
want to read Octavia. Octavia said, is she saying get a white man? Because all the pictures were a white man.
Yeah. What's up
Is
with
she
that?
is she subliminally saying
Right.
go get a white
I peeped that
Hey,
too.
Octavia? You thought that too?
Yeah, I saw that.
Who
I'm out there.
knows? Go ahead, Shells.
You know, I don't have nothing to say. I don't got nothing to say. I I just know that from my understanding, what we've always been taught is a man that has sex often, be it with his woman or I don't know the multiple if there's a difference. But we've always been taught that makes you live longer and that relieves a lot of your stress.
Mm,
So, and like they stated, almost every man in the Bible
yes, sir.
had God gave him 300-400 wives. Like that was his gift. So I think that she kind of just sounded like not bitter, but women are always trying to level the playing field and want to be equal to men, and that was her way of trying to equal it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Agree.
Also, I think people need to take into consideration because I also seen all the white men. Our anatomy is different from theirs. Our genetic makeup, everything is different from theirs. So what applies to them in their studies does not apply to us generally. So a lot of people don't take that into account. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
And you know what?
That,
This is kind of probably aligned with what a soldier's dream put in the chat because she says, I feel all the scientific experiments and polls are going back to the European
Mm-hmm.
mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the cultures that have many wives? Are they wrong? And then,
yeah,
so
they lived a long like all them men be healthy and
Long
tending
time.
to the sheep or whatever they got to do, walking for miles to get the water. The men be right.
right.
listen, cause they get all that stress off, huh?
Right.
Yeah, whether they
Right.
die
Look
And,
at
younger or not.
Rodney done set up. He's smiling.
wait,
Tammy,
the
hey, he's finna doom 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 doom.
Hilarious.
I hit that bits.
You hit this. Yeah, look.
But yeah, but like every society that has multiple wives, them women, I don't know if they die early, but they be old and active,
Mm-hmm.
talking, playing. So
hmm
I
yeah,
don't know. But I have also heard that like as far as the ejaculation part, you're supposed to reserve it and it does build up whatever fluid that goes to your brain. But sex wise, I think that's a necessity.
yeah,
If
yeah,
we
you,
couldn't have sex, not a lot, because hopefully everybody with one woman. Well, I'd go crazy out here. There'd be so many more killings.
you ain't lying. You ain't lying. The number one predictor of disease and and is stress.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And what is a great release stress? Sex.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman know that when her man acting crazy, she know to be like, go on in there, lay down. Let me relax you a while.
Right?
Yeah, every good woman know that.
Right?
Please.
And you can go in places, get one of the massages with the happy ending.
Yes, sir. There you go. There you go.
Nah,
Right.
he's saying that for the singles.
This for
Married
the
men,
single.
he's
For
not
those,
What's the
that,
single?
encouraging.
yep, yep. That's for the ones who they don't have a partner. Amen.
Exactly.
Amen. Amen. Just
Y'all crazy.
put the number in the chat, pimp. Put the number in the chat. No, I'm just kidding.
You come, I give you happy ending.
Right,
No,
right, right?
No.
Yeah.
Y'all
But
play
but
too.
but one thing I do want to mention is that we do need to be mindful of teaching our young men um, to monitor the desire to hunt, because it does impact you on how you relate to women. Um, there is something about it when you're hunting, that is your main goal, that is your main interest, that's your main focus. Now, you will do anything ancillary in between there to get to that point. You want to make sure that as we are grooming men to be successful young men,
Mhm.
that we teach them how to be as responsible. You don't have to teach them the instinct, that's already innate in them. Teaching them
Mhm.
how to control themselves, that is not in and of itself innate. That is a learned behavior.
Yes.
And you know what? As you're talking to that point, I'm thinking about Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and he
Hmm.
was talking about sexual energy can be used in the space of charisma.
Hmm.
Um, it's just what you do with the energy.
Hmm.
So that's why he said a lot of people become like millionaires in their 40s and 50s because in them earlier years they're using the sexual energy that way, but it makes for good salespeople and all kind of stuff. Very, I'm sure all of us know about that book.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so this is good. Which one do I want to start first? Because I had a list, but time done got away. So let me do this. I'm gonna probably have to skip the first question that I want to talk. I want to talk about this Nolan Wells situation. I want
Hmm.
your thoughts. And then there's another young man that I hear um has come has come out recently, and I think they tried to say he I think he was on Daniel Irving, or hold on, let me pull it up real quick because somebody
Was that the
uh
young man who went out with a football trip with his teammates and then having cramp while he was swimming across? Did he drown? What was that?
yeah,
Okay,
they
got you.
said he
All right.
drowned. They said he
Yeah.
drowned, but now two of the teammates or
The boys.
whatever are now facing charges.
Yep, charges. Hmm.
So it's like it was explained to me like there have been what to believe what is believed to have been like 770 MDLs, which is being referred to as modern day lynchings. Because last year I think in Mississippi,
Hmm.
the young man, they tried to say hanged himself as a form of suicide or ending his life. Um, what are your thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts on any of this? What do you?
But I'm gonna let somebody else go first because I got a whole lot to say in that particular space. So
So,
I'll.
so for a person who grew up, I went to a majority white school. I grew up in the Hamptons, right? But we had our black neighborhoods and stuff like that. Um, my mom always told she didn't let me do certain things. I had white friends, but we knew that you couldn't go over there or go certain places with white folks
Mm,
because we still have racism. There was a section in my town, and it was real racist, and that's where they used to have the carnivals and things like that. For during the summers, and we would go, but we would go as groups. We didn't go by ourselves and things like that. And that was in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? But we put hands on people when we had to fight to even get out of there sometimes because alcohol would be involved and they like to use the N word and things to that nature.
Hmm.
So and I grew up with some people, and then as I got older, we got into high school. We was close during elementary school. But like you said, racism is and using the N word as a white person, that's learned behavior. So
mm-hmm,
we were used to it's tough when you grow up in that type of environment, but I also think the parents have to be more diligent and more vigilant on who you let your son go. If he's the only black person in that group, that's an issue. That's too much trust. You know, this and then you in Mississippi. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing
Hmm.
changed, you know? So I know my mom grew up in the South, so she said, I want you to be well rounded, but I don't want you to be stupid either. You can't do what white people do. We can't do what white people do, no matter what. You know, we may think we can, but we can't. They might accept us, but when it comes down to it, you get put. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm sorry for rambling, but I'm gonna give you an example. Me and my white football teammate, we was going to. I messed up my knee, and he was driving. We had to go to physical therapy. On the way home, we got pulled over by the New York State Police on the highway,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing the officer said, he looked at me, not him, but we had our football jackets on. And I was like, whoa. And my friend that, I went with, he didn't understand, but then he also, I had to put my hands on him later on because he said the N word. You know what I mean? So, and we played on the same football team. So it, it, it was crazy, but I had to explain to my mom. I was like, what? Why does this keep happening? So, if you don't educate your children and understand that there's boundaries, you can have a white friend, but we're not going to do that trip and overnights and things like that. I don't care what it is, So that's my thoughts. But I think the parents need to be more diligent. Not blaming the parents at all, but you see the pictures and they all got. He's in the center of the pool with a dude around his neck in the middle of the pool on that one picture. I don't know if everybody saw that picture that Crump put out where they said he was at the pool. He went to a pool party after the other boys left. He's the only black person in the pool. And then they was drinking, underage drinking, you know, and then he was talking to a white girl, that liked him. So I don't know, but it's tough. But I experienced that stuff, and it's different. But my mom made sure we was aware of our environments. I didn't go to parties. They were like, "Oh, we having a party. Come over." Nah, nah,
Mm-mm.
no,
Mm-mm.
no, sir, no, sir, no. And that was at a young age. That was at a young age. So
I think
Wow.
that like 'cause even like William, my freshman year when they started mandatory busing, so they bused us to the white schools, and I got white friends today. They cool, but they still white, and you have to remember that they didn't grow up around blacks, so they don't know how to handle blacks, or they don't know the humor of blacks. So I think the parents should automatically know that. And I tell my kids because I like everybody, but if you're the only black person, it's like obviously they don't like black people. Why would you be the first one? Like you gotta have some common sense as a parent. Like if you're the only one in this, you and your teens and 20s, they obviously ain't don't like y'all. They've had plenty of opportunity to have black friends.
Mm.
Yeah, so I just don't understand that. If my kids said they're the only black person, I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna be the first one. It's always that guy. Don't be that guy.
Mm. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But so my first thought process is that stop. We need to stop acting like we live in this post-racial society. We don't. We don't live in a post-racial world. Period.
Hmm.
You could go from Argentina and all these other places that China during COVID. These people, there's a caste system, whether it's spoken or unspoken. There is a caste system, and most countries, with the exception of those of our diaspora, believe that we are at the bottom of the caste system. That's for one. Secondly, when you understand that, when you try to give your kids a leg up, because we want to give our kids better than we had, we want to put them in a better environment to excel. We also have to weigh the better environment to the additional stress because we want them to succeed and get the best education. Part of the education is the social environment of where you're going to be at. That impacts how you manage your academics. So, in that particular space, here you have a situation where affluent white people who typically teach their kids that they are superior, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
that they are special, that they are the top of the rung, and not to have behaviors below that. And now you put this guy who they also oftentimes express, or this color that they oftentimes express, is at the bottom of the rung, and he knows how to speak and stand up for himself, which is an affront to them. And you do it too often. And then you got all of these tropes about the black man wanting a white woman, you know what I'm saying? And so then now you put him in the dynamics where that's his oikos. Those are the people who he around. So those are the people who he's attracted to. Those are the people who are attracted to him. And you still have that opposite sex looking at this white woman that they like, or girl that they like, and she likes this black guy. We have to stop acting like these are not real issues. We almost like we forget, like, this don't exist no more. It does. And we continue to lynch. And my biggest issue with us as a diaspora, whether it's in Mississippi, whether it's in Ohio, whether it's Pennsylvania, all of these so-called lynchings, and we never. I got a poem in one of my books, and it's called Mississippi Lynching. My only challenge is that if you're gonna lynch somebody, just make sure the rope swings both ways. And we do not make sure that the rope swings both ways.
Mm.
Mm,
Listen, that's facts what you just said, my man. Because I have some people I know that went to a school. Like I said, I went to a predominantly black school, but my mom didn't preach, but she also said, you know, yeah, I can't control who you love, but but I can control who you bring to my house, because
mhm,
that energy, she was talking about energy back then,
mhm,
and she didn't
Mm.
like and I, it was crazy, but the fact is that we have people that are black folks that assimilate with white folks and think that's going to do by you showing your teeth and smiling and
Mhm.
things like that, because you want to get ahead. You want to get ahead, but they always in the back of your mind, in the back of their mind is that you still black and you got a white woman, and I don't accept you. But I accept you for a student. But when it's time to get on our same level, no, that's not going to happen. And I know some folks like that right now. I mean, people I know that's going through that right now, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, you don't see that? Just because she can cook some collard greens and chitlins, that don't make it. You know what I mean? And I know a person like that. And I'm not trying to crack jokes, but it's facts. I mean,
Mhm.
I see it and I worry sometimes about him. It's like he's really gone. But yet, they talk about how their grandparents and parents were civil rights activists, but you assimilated, you went straight to the opposite. So I don't understand that. So
mhm,
And people can't say, always use credit for their grandparents being activists because none of them made no sacrifices. They didn't give up theirs for us. They weren't like, you're not gonna do nothing to these people, and you could take mine. They were like, don't do nothing but leave me alone. You know what I mean? So that means nothing. And also, I think people need to remember that when you, like I say, showing your teeth and smile and want to talk proper in front of them, you're not showing them that you're on their level. You're showing them that you're willing to be different to be
Totally.
accepted by them, so they know they can use you. We tend to think it's favor, and it ain't favor. You just you're letting them know that I'll be weak for you. I'll be different for you. I won't be myself. Cause like
that's
when you go,
facts.
yeah, when you go to a bank, when you go to meetings, any other race, they be in there how they come. And when I friend worked at a bank, and he like, when the Hispanics and stuff come in the bank, they come in a regular t-shirt and jeans, same accent, and still ask for that $1 million. They don't come in there trying to code switch to fit in. They go in there talking their accent like, what? This is me. That's how I come. I think we the only people that think that means something. So it's crazy to me.
That's that
and
frequency I was talking about. that
Mhm.
because we hear that the only frequency that we have in our head is that your frequency, and so that's kind of only thing we know in a way. And Terry, you're right. We have a choice, but that frequency is so loud and it's so constant. It's just constant and constant and constant and constant. And, so it's hard to hear anything else. Hard to do uh, other stuff. Um, I really would love for you guys, because I don't know much about I the kid who drowned and stuff like that, but I've heard about all these lynchings, and
Mhm.
it just seems uh, not real to me that these young black boys would hang themselves. That doesn't it don't sit right with me. Like, no, that's not the way we would go out. That's just don't.
That part right there.
Mhm.
And that's what somebody put in their blog. Like, why would they go out the way, ancestors were taken out um back in the day? So
And
Right.
that's just a lot
Yeah.
of black people walking around with rope. I mean, like, come on, man. But the issue that I have
And
is
the,
that
and the
we
one guy that
allowed
was,
them. But
I'm sorry, the one guy that they said was hung, that he committed suicide, his legs was broken. So how you gonna hang yourself?
how he hang himself?
right. But
Yeah.
but the issue is that we don't stand up enough, and it's us as a community, but it's also organizations that we support. So you really don't see the NAACP coming out and doing a lot of anything in those particular spaces. We have to be able to organize and push back. If we're not pushing, we're not gaining ground. They're pushing and gaining ground. If we don't believe our voice matters, if we don't believe that the power is really within us, then we will capitulate to somebody else's desire for us without fight. We'll wait until they change all the laws, create all the advantages, create all the sales, and then we'll start to fight so that they know how to herd us into a space. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not into martyrism, but I'm saying, like, if we don't do nothing, then they not gonna just leave us alone. So we're just saying that, listen, they're gonna get them first, and then I'm gonna just be quiet until they
Ooh,
come
bless
get
you.
me second. God bless you. Till they come get me second. Is that where we at now? Because
Okay.
that's still death slowly. Tupac says, yes, it says, listen, a coward dies 1,000 deaths. Do we want to die those 1,000 deaths, or do we want to
Mm.
die one time?
Mhm.
Who do we want to be?
And as you guys are talking, I was thinking of a couple of years ago. I was in Tennessee, and this lady was telling us at dinner how her son was trying to build a house in a white neighborhood, and he was getting so much pushback, so much pushback. And even then, I had the thought to myself, just because you can, should
Um,
you?
right.
And I think that becomes the problem. I think because a lot of people feel that they can, but is that really a good move for them? And no way in any of this am I spewing hate or anything. I don't believe in being anywhere that I'm not wanted, where I would
Mhm,
have to be looking over my shoulder. That's a lot of energy. That's why
mhm,
I say all the time that expression, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, is BS to
mhm,
me. I don't need my enemy around me that close in
mhm,
my space.
mhm,
And I feel it's the same concept. But go ahead, guys.
Mm.
Anybody else have anything they want to add on this topic? Okay. All right. Well then, let me give this next one to you guys. I sent you guys a video to look at.
mhm,
Shelly, and I and a therapist was on last week, and I played the video for them. Did you guys get a chance to watch that video?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay.
did. Yes, I did. You know I'm gonna say something. But I'll let everybody else go first. But I watched it today when I was at work. So go ahead. Uh-huh.
Take off somebody, cause William ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so this is a lighter one because it's interesting. When we first talked about it, I had a different perception. When I listened to the actual video itself, it seems like they both enjoy each other's company. They both was inundated with the idea of doing things together. I know he was narrating, but it
Hmm.
seems like she was in locking step. So I can understand if it works for you as a couple, it works for you, right? Unfortunately, it's just hard for me to believe that there is nothing in your space as a man that you believe that it is valuable not to have time away from her with other men to develop a oikos, to develop a accountable partner group, to develop anything. You're saying I don't need any of that. She's
You
going to
can't
be
breathe
my
without her.
end all be all in spaces. I think that is overboard. And what happens when she gets tired of that?
You
Then what
ain't
do you
think
do?
about that.
Right?
Well, when she gets tired, he gonna still say she gonna stay there
Yeah.
because that sound like a lot of lust somewhere in there. So you know, lust don't want you to be happy with nobody. So other than them. So
Yeah. Well,
and
he
guys,
that.
just to set the foreground, what I'm talking about, last week I showed a video where this guy was talking about how, oh, I gotta have my woman all the time. We work together, we do everything together. I can't breathe without my woman. Man, I don't want to take no, hang out with my boys and this, that, and the other. So Shelly and I had dialogue on it last week, and I just still wanted to get the guy's perspective about this. So that's what we're talking about. So go ahead, William. William, did
All
you
right.
bring it up?
So me and my wife worked together before. We worked together before, and we enjoy each other's company. But I can tell you, I get on her nerves, and and she watches me to the point because I'm content at coming home and being quiet. I did a lot of stuff in my younger years. I'm content, but when she sees that something, I had friends come from Pennsylvania to Virginia. They just popped up because she made a call, said, "Hey, I need y'all to come because I need him to get out the house. I need him to have some time with his fellas." You know what I mean? So because of what we've been through and things to that nature, she recognizes that, and so do I when it comes to her. But we can work together. We work together, and people didn't even know we was married. They was like, I mean, we worked at a drug court, and we had to, and one of the clients like, I don't like the way he looks at you. Said that they didn't like the way I looked at her and things like that. And she's like, well, that's my husband. So, but I get what he was saying, but I think, like you said, it was more of a physical thing, not an emotional and a connection thing. Is like you got to have time for yourself. You got to have time to assimilate with your male friends because you can get lost, and then you up all up. I don't want to be up under nobody, and I don't want nobody up under me like that. That's just too much. She needs to have her friend time, and I need to have my friend time. And being married, that's part of being married. You
Hmm.
got to have a break, and where you can talk. I go to the barbershop every week. I ain't got no hair, but I go to the barbershop. I go get my face trimmed up. That's my time. Like she goes to the nail salon or goes to the beauty salon. That's her time. I don't want to sit there and wait for her to get her nails done. What am I listening to? So need that in any type of relationship, a situationship, all that stuff. You don't need to be up under nobody. So,
Hmm.
but I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious.
Because they were doing everything. I guess he was driving a truck. She was in there. You know what I'm saying? They were literally. unloading the trucks, everything that they was, oh, that's my boo.
And I love that for them. I
Ain't nothing
do.
wrong with it.
I love that for them. But it's just that extra that he put on. Like,
Hmm.
it's alarming to me, and y'all can correct me. That's why I wanted to hear the men's point of view. And I see Shelly has come off of mute. It's alarming for me to hear a man say, I can't breathe without you. Like, wait, that becomes borderline obsessive. And again, everything identity. Everybody has to have their own identity. Shelly, you came off mute, and
Yeah,
Rondi, I
yeah. I
see you
was,
smirking.
I was gonna say, I agree with him to a certain extent. As far as a man wanting or a woman always wanting to be together, but I also have made it clear that you still need your time. Like your me wanting to be with my woman that much doesn't stop me from having my time. It just makes me want to get to her faster. But I'm always, I think everybody needs their time to be them, to breathe. A woman, she might want to go poot or something. She can't do it with her man sitting there. Like, everybody needs time to be them, their personal selves when they're alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mm,
But I understand
mm.
wanting to be around your woman like that, don't you? But if you're a
Absolutely.
man, it's just a want.
Right. But it's
Yeah.
also a personality trait or even a love language that we
Mm.
sometimes miss. Some people like if you are an extrovert or introvert, that all of those things can impact how you relate to your partner. Some partners work best when they don't spend a lot of time with each other,
Yeah.
and they still can have a healthy relationship.
Yeah. It's definitely to each his own.
Right.
Mhm. Well, I'm glad you said love language, because Shelly, I realized last week we did not talk about love language since we had a couples therapist on. So she's going to come back in the future and we're going to have a whole conversation on love language, because it's important to know what your love language is. So if you've never taken the love language test, take the test, know what it is. Like, some people need acts of kindness, they need gifts all the time. Some people need touch. A person like me, I need communication. You got to keep this stimulated. I need this is always, not all the time, because I still need my quiet time too. But just know what your love language is. That helps you better understand you. Rondi, did you want to add to any of this?
Now, I saw you kind of frown your face when you said uh, uh, that if a you said I can't breathe without you, you didn't like that? So baby, me breathe. I can't breathe without you, right? And that now I see a female going, oh my God, I do that, right? Uh, what? I can. It'd be a rare female, be like, boy, you maybe, maybe I don't know.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure, because you're going in and out. So I want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying. So you're saying that it's not normal to hear a woman to say, to talk about when the man talking about he can't breathe without her. Like, that's that's like not a normal response.
No, not at all. That is,
But see, okay,
Yeah.
since you,
Did-
you you put me there, let me just go ahead and tell you why I say that. Because again, everybody has said it. You need you time. You have your own identity. You need to miss a person. If I am to the point where I can't breathe without you, then one, I still don't even know who I am, and I really shouldn't even all the way be in a relationship, because that's saying there's some more work I need to do on me. I
mm,
believe, especially at this big old age, as they like to say, I'm to the point we need to be healed people, or healing, because it's never an ed, a healing
right.
people coming together and working on us. But we don't want to be so codependent that we can't spend time apart. And so to hear a person say they can't breathe without another person, when that's a red flag. That's
Don't you?
almost like, what's that movie? Who was that? Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy, with the dude showed up in the club and in his pajamas and all kind of stuff like that. That becomes like borderline crazy to me, because you need to be able to breathe without a person. You need to have your own separate life.
But what
Don't
about
you
wait
think a
to
lot of those?
exhale?
Go ahead.
I said, what about understand like in the movie Waiting to Exhale? I mean, it has the same concept in that particular space. You know what I'm saying? So we're championing that movie and be like, oh, it's just so nice to finally find that person. But then when we hear a person says, hey, I can't breathe without you, all of a sudden now that becomes toxic. So to exhale, female dominant space, that's okay. That's cute. That's loving. That's kind. That's gentle. But man says, I can't breathe without you. That's borderline, stalkish.
No,
What's the thought
no,
process?
no, 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 no. I think it's two separate concepts. I
All
think
right,
there's two
give it to
separate
me.
concepts.
Give it to
So,
me.
in waiting to exhale, that they're saying, okay, I'm waiting to find that person that I want to be with, and
Mhm.
so it's taking a long time. And some of them, like, in a sense, using the analogy, holding my breath, and then now that he has come, I can exhale, because
Mhm.
it's like, oh, that's that pressure that had been building up over time
Yeah.
is now being released. But that's not saying that they can't breathe without the person.
Hold on. That's using the analogy that I can't breathe without you. That's just another analogy.
That's what I was gonna say. Those are just analogies for a person to express how deeply they care. But
Right.
on the other side, and you women do this, if you're in a marriage and you being, I don't know, the housewife, or you being taken care of, when he decides to leave, all of a sudden you can't get your life together because you gave it all to him. So what's the difference? Like, why
That's
he
the
can't feel?
problem.
But no, it's not a problem. It's only a problem when a man does it, because it's, how do a man say that that's too much? But you
Right.
got to give your whole life to a man like that, and it's normal for a woman.
But Shelly, okay, all right, this is where the women probably gonna disagree with me, and that's okay. I don't feel a woman should be in that position either. I don't feel. I feel we are all powerful beings, and I feel that we should not have our identity so tied up into an individual that we have the mindset, oh, if they leave, oh, that's the end of the world. I don't want to see nobody else,
But,
this, that, and the other. And I know you're right. Women have felt that way. I have felt that way.
but
I have
don't
felt.
you? How y'all believe in parts of the Bible, but not all of the Bible? Don't God say you leave the cleave? That's how it's supposed to be. That's how He made you. So
But
what's the problem?
Shelly, you putting up a scenario whereas if he leaves because
Yeah.
she done wrapped herself so into him, she don't know who she is, and then so now she can't go on, and now this is
No,
a
she just
whole.
got to learn herself again. That's life. Just the same way, in the same scenario, if she leaves, or he, whoever leaves, if a man's been with a woman forever and she leaves, he has to start over. His whole life was built
Mhm.
around her. He functioned for her and around her. So just because he left or she left, it don't matter. He has to start over too. That's just the nature of the beast. That's just, you work your job for 30 years and you just did, I don't know, say hypothetically typing forever. And you get fired, all you know how to do is type. So what are you gonna say? Oh, my job ruined my life. No, that's just the nature of the beast, and that's just how it goes. So you can't help yourself if you truly like someone to wrap yourself around them. I can't picture I'm with a woman for years and we in love, and she's like, well, I'm gonna do me. She's gonna do her by herself.
No, no, see, I think, okay, I think what I'm saying is being taken out of context. So let me
Okay.
see how I can reel this in.
Give us some context.
What I am saying is I am for, you being with your person and all about them. Yes, because I am a firm believer in that. Okay. So can I get an amen? I'm what I am saying.
Amen. Amen.
Together, you want to be with your person. You intertwine. You want to do things together, travel together, have fun, experiences, right?
But
What I am saying is there does come a point where you need time away from each other so that you can miss each other. Not to the point whereas, oh, we away from each other. Oh, I can't breathe, and now the other person blowing up the phone. Where you at? What you doing? Da 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 da. That's what. That's all that I'm saying.
Right. So
And
you just took that statement literally, and I don't think I don't know what he meant because he sounded a little stalkerish, but I don't think he meant it to
that's
that
all I'm saying, Shelly.
effect. Like, in general, we don't mean it to that effect. We just mean it like I built my life around her, so I can't breathe without her. If she leaves, I got to start all over. I don't know where my stuff is. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. So you are lost and stuck on either half. Whoever leaves, everybody's stuck. So
Absolutely.
so that's why I don't think it meant to where she go to the store and he's, where you at? He 7-Eleven.
gasping for
I
air.
drove it. It's 3 minutes and you've been gone 6. I don't think.
Well, then you shouldn't say some things because it's something you just really shouldn't say. Because a person like me, I'm very analytical, and so and I'm open. But when you say stuff like that, my side eye is going up and I'm looking at you. Okay, bro, what's up? And then I as a spiritual person, I'm like, okay, what's up with the broken little boy within you? Because now I'm going like, what abandonment issues are you
Yeah,
dealing
you
with?
have it.
So you ain't never been in love, or you told someone I love you more than life, or I love you to death, or like you've never, even though it's not what literally, you've never expressed feelings that deep.
You mean the world to me?
Yeah, you mean like we say that if you're in real love, is I love you to death, but a man is like I'll kill for you. He ain't stalkerish. He mean that. I love you.
True that.
Okay. Now let me say it this way. I don't think I've ever said something, I love you to death, and you mean I may say you mean a lot to me. I don't know about the meaning the world to me.
Mm,
You sound several of these things
You
have
mm,
sounded
cold,
like
Tammy. I'm
Tony
gonna just say
Braxton.
you
I'm hearing
cold.
Tony Braxton
mm.
songs all up in my head through this
Yeah.
Right,
conversation.
right.
Breathe again, and you mean the world to me, and all that kind of stuff like that. But now here's and to be transparent, if I ended a relationship or whatever, and I went through my depressed moment behind it, I did have that grief and thought, oh, I'll never meet anybody again, and this was the only person, this, that, and the other, and then the healing takes place. So hold on, let me see, ladies. Oh, okay. All right. So Lisa said, hey, Lisa, if a man says he can't breathe without me, I think it's romantic unless the red flags start flagging. I don't take it literally. And a soldier's dream, Lisa, exactly. I think people take things too literally because society is quick to judge what others say and do. So I told y'all I'm on the island by myself on it, but I just thought it was a lot. But that was just me.
Touche.
So I guess that Lenny Williams song, you was like, you hate that song, huh?
No, I love that song. I love that
He
song.
said they maybe never been in love like I've been in love before. He was hurt.
I I don't know. Let me stop because I don't think my you know what, my
Come on.
vibration, my frequency is missing y'all. I get all of that. I get that. I let's get off this because this done just got hurt because y'all probably listen, internet, don't think I'm a man hater, relationship hater, and all that stuff because that is
I
so
think
far
you
from
just got a lot of men like questioning, damn, am I doing too much? Because
Too
I don't
much.
know a
Don't
man.
do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know a man out there from the toughest to the, I know killers. That boy, when it comes to his woman, and like when you love someone for real, I can't do nothing without her. Like it's a lot of
yeah.
people. Life ain't worth living without the other half. So many people die from a broken heart. Is like that's just how we're built. That's just like I ain't only been in love once or twice.
So
Did I love crazy? But I love.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, because I've said that to my wife. Like before we moved to Georgia, I was there about 3 months by myself, right? Getting the house set up, getting the job set up, and I called her one day and told her, I said, "Listen, I appreciate you, cause I don't know what the hell to do. You know, I'm so used to you doing this and that, I can't breathe. I couldn't sleep. I didn't set the bed up. I slept on the floor. I sat a pallet. I didn't buy no furniture. I didn't do none of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? And that was because I'm in love. I couldn't do nothing without her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't know how much she did or how much she complimented me in that sense that I couldn't even go buy no furniture or the
Yeah.
washer and dryer. I was going to the laundromat. You know what I'm saying? Until her and the kids came down and we got, hey, do what you gotta do. Here's the money. You know what I'm saying? So when he says he can't breathe, that means that I need her to complete me in every step that I've taken.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's not that he's smothering. It's just the fact that she done made such of an impact on me that I need her for almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's
Mm.
not that he's saying I can't breathe. I can breathe. I got friends. I got people that I go out with. But listen,
But he don't. He don't. You do.
I
He
still
don't.
do it to the day.
Yeah, he
You
said
know
he
what I
got
mean?
friends. He said he had friends, but they know not to call him to ask him to go out. He gonna
Exactly.
be with his boo.
Exactly. That's awful. William, yo, thank. Okay,
That
first
part.
of all,
Yes, sir.
But
Lisa said
Tam,
we love you,
I'm gonna
Queen. So
cut you
thank you,
off
Lisa. I love you too,
because
huh?
with my clique, when we be ready to leave town, or it's like let's go to the club, every blue moon it might be a boys' night, and that's because somebody in the clique is going through something, so we have to be there for them. But majority of
Yep.
the time, it's nigga, my
Hmm.
excuse my language, my bitch coming with me. Like I'm not going by myself.
As well as should be.
So
As
that
well as
means don't
should
call
be.
me to go out and
Yep.
then be like, "Why your girl coming?" Because that's my partner, man.
Well, no.
That's
Okay,
right.
I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm a stand out in this particular space. I love my wife. We could do anything together. However, we do not do everything together.
That's
Agreed.
all I'm saying.
I have to have my space. She does too. So it's mutual. She gotta have her me time, to do whatever, massage, whatever it is. I gotta have my me time, go to the cigar spot, hang out with the boys, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I gotta have that time, but I never do it at the expense of her time
That.
because
Let me
I
ask
will
you this,
drop when
Alpine.
things happen
That's the
for
point.
her.
When you out with your
That's right.
boys, do you do you
That's the
you only
point.
think about her, huh?
Yeah, because in most of the places I go to, I'm older, so I go chill. I'm at a local cigar spot, chilling with a bunch of dudes, watching the game, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, or I'm at some type of Masonic event, chilling, you know what I'm saying, doing some degree work or whatever. But it's typically that. Those are the only things I pretty much do, unless I'm playing golf.
Hmm.
Yeah, but and I'm not saying that you're not supposed. Look, I think y'all just proved my point. Y'all just the point has been proven. Y'all, Alpine, you did a great illustration of what I was getting, what I was getting at, and William, you actually did a great illustration as well. So see, y'all solved the issue. Y'all solved it. And again, Lisa, I love you too, boo. And her soldier's dream said, I want to be like Octavia when I grow up, William, after your story. And then my girl Ivy Marie says, thank you. I need my space and put the crying laughing face. And that's all I'm saying. Listen, I am big on love. I believe in love. I know love is this, and we of course want to be with our partners all the time. I didn't want you guys to misunderstand. I just I just also feel absence make the heart grow fonder, and I do, that's all I was really getting at, which got me down a whole rabbit hole. But really, that I
but
really was
it,
trying to say
the
what
thing,
Alpine just said. That's what, look, Alpine said what he spoke for me. He was a ventriloquist. What you saying, William?
but the thing with that, Tammy, is that you have to be secure in who you are. You got to know who you are as a man and a woman. You got to know who you are. It ain't got nothing to do with your friends. It ain't got nothing to do with your family. You got to know who you are as a man, as a woman, to understand and be able to do this kind of separate for a minute to go be with your boys or be with your girls. You got to know, I'm coming home. I got something to do. That's maturity. That's all about maturity and security.
Mhm.
If you're not secure in yourself,
Right.
you're going to have all this other stuff, and stuff that can tempt you to do things that you don't want to do, because not all of us have, like, I try to do stuff with married people, and you can't do a lot of single stuff when you're married. You see what I'm saying? So my boys and my friends respect my marriage enough. That's how I know they my friends. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They respect my wife enough to not even put me in a situation where I gotta hey, wait a minute, where we going? What we doing? And the same with her. You know what I mean? They're not gonna put us in a situation where, you gotta come home and I'm gonna have to dot that I. You know what I'm saying? That's something different. You know what I mean? So it's all about maturity and knowing who you are as an individual and what you're gonna do and what you ain't gonna do.
So I take my hat off to you, because that is the, you said the word that needed to be said. A person that is confident and secure in themselves can move as Alpine and his wife do, and as you and Octavia do, and that's the kind that's the kind of love that I want to be a part of. I know I'm secure and confident in me. He needs to be secure and confident in him. So that's really, and that makes us, okay, look, all right, babe, I'll be home in 30 minutes, have the bath water running or whatever. Or he'll be like, get the candle, whatever. But I just feel when people are confident and secure in themselves, you don't really be focused on somebody talking about they can't breathe without you. But I'm not opening that can of worms again. But that I think you guys have proven what I was getting to. So I got another deep question that I want to ask before we go ahead and bring it in. Because um I right now it's too soon to get into the backdrop of the story, but I just want to ask this question. Why is it that men still so choose, yeah, I'm going to say the word choose to stay strong in situations where they have total permission to be weak, like in the case of losing a loved one? Why is it that men still refuse to accept grief, grief counseling, or process how they're feeling, um when it, knowing, even if whether they know or not, trauma stores in your body. So if you don't process the grief, it's going to sit somewhere. But I think it was said earlier, like, be strong for everybody, when in actuality they're ready to break down. Let's talk about that, because I just feel we're in a time now that we got men need to know you don't have to hold everything in. So
Mm,
Again, I'm going to reiterate, it's about maturity and knowing who you are. If you're not in tune with your emotions, you're never going to be able to be vulnerable at any point. I'm vulnerable right now. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm going through stuff with my wife, with my health, her health. Is tough. It's not easy, but I'm secure. I know I'm a man. No man
mhm.
can't question that I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? Or a woman can't question, because I'm all man. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I'm secure enough. I've addressed some of my childhood traumas. I've been to counseling. I've done all that stuff that they say you're supposed to do to process stuff. But I'm still vulnerable because I'm secure in who I am, and I'm mature enough that I can go into my wife, I can go to my boys, and I can tear up, and they don't judge me because that's who I am, and they know my passion, and they know I'm secure in who I am. That doesn't make me less of a man. But if you can't get to that point in your life, you're always going to have that struggle, and then that's where women don't give you a chance to be that way, and so they got to put that facade up because they're not at that level yet. They haven't reached that level of maturity and
Mm.
being secure in themselves and their emotions. But then some women emasculate men for being that way. So why should they open up? Why would they open up if they keep getting emasculated? And it starts at home. When they was a child, they got emasculated when they was younger. So it carries on until somebody breaks the cycle. You see what I'm saying? My dad was 1 of 13. He didn't show not one emotion to me. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I saw my dad cry when my mom died because he know he didn't treat her right. Right? Never
Mm-hmm.
seen him cry ever again.
Mm.
He didn't treat her right, so he cried. But that's the only emotion I saw my dad. And I was 25 years old when my mom died. So it's about maturity and it's about knowing who you are and somebody telling you you got to break the cycle. Somebody got to break the cycle. And when you have women out here nowadays, you see it all on the internet. They emasculating men because he's a, what do they call him, a simp or something? Is that the word they call men now?
Mhm.
Simps
Yes.
or soft or
Mhm.
whatever. But that's a woman that wants to be a man. Men don't want to be men. Women don't want to be women no more. We talked about that on a previous podcast. A previous, we talked about that, and it's getting more prevalent now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So you got to be secure in who you are in order to even share emotions with your mate or your friends, real friends. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
think
know,
also aside from all that, if you're the cornerstone of your family and you've grown and smoothed your aster out to you smooth, I think you know the weight that comes with that. So when the whole family is depending on you to be, or not depending on you, when you know it's a vital moment where everybody's on the fence and emotional, people look at you for their strength. So if you're not their strength, then it could get worse. So a man just knows he has to be in certain situations the strength of the family, the rock of the family. That doesn't mean he can't go let it out on his own somewhere else, but he has to be the rock. And his kid, his wife is looking at him for strength, so he has to show that strength.
Mm. I
And
I think
good.
sorry, Abby.
No,
Um,
no.
uh, yeah, I think that our society hasn't moved that far to make it acceptable for men to be that emotional. You know, for example, I think I'll take for my family. If I got emotional, something, I think my partner, I think she'd be cool. She'd be like, it's okay, baby, let that out. I'm good. Let that out. My daughter would be, Daddy, I'm so proud of you for purging this and whatever's happened to you. But my mom be like, boy, this is not the way I raised you.
mm.
This isn't, I don't. What what was all that all about? You go do that around the corner by yourself somewhere. Um, and I could even, some of my friends might be like, hey, dog, I don't know about all that, all that, all, you know, man, I just don't think, I think our society is moving in that direction. I don't think we're there yet. Just don't think we're there yet. I think in time we'll get there, but as far as I know, I don't think our society is there, especially our community.
Mm.
Um, So,
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I agree we're not there yet,
Okay.
but that still don't mean that we should operate in that old energy. At some point, the change needs to come. Go ahead, Alpine.
But you gotta so my big so I applaud everybody's comment because I think that I gained a nugget from each. But one of my thought processes is that that balance sometimes is difficult. Like 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 Shelley said, if you're the anchor, now everybody's looking at your response to kind of direct or control their response, right? So if you fall apart, they fall apart. But if you can find a way to manage to show strength, you encourage them to be strong as well. But you also have the idea that you got to know yourself. So we lack balance, and the reason why we lack balance is because society lacks balance. Because you can be very easily showing emotion, and the person says, "Okay, yeah, great job," but then you start showing too much, and that's okay. Now you're oversharing, right? So now in that particular case, but if you hard and you stoic, then you're not emotionally connected. You don't have emotional
Right.
intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So we have to try to figure out what is the proper balance, and most people's balance is based on another person's feelings, and feelings change. But our balance shouldn't be based on that. Our balance shouldn't shift like that. So I think he made a good point. I think society is leaning towards that, but until we find a social way of being balanced, we are lending our balance to the perception of other people who we believe are part of whatever quandary we're going through that impacts how we feel. So what do we do with that?
Wow, that's I I agree. And we got to find a balance cuz at the end of the day you got to feel. I don't care what you say, you got to
True.
feel, you got to process those
Got
feelings.
you.
A soldier's dream put, I think it's generational deep. I agree. Men in slavery couldn't show emotion that is passed on through culture and DNA. And that not only passed through culture and DNA, it's studies show it passes on to like at least 7 generations.
Mm,
So you got to think if how many generations are we off out of slavery? That stuff passes on. So it's really here for us to face and fix. Um, did y'all have anything else on that? And the reason I'm asking it this way, William said something, and I was not going to show. I got another quick video to show y'all because William just said something, and I don't want this to wait till another. I probably wouldn't even show it another time. So I'm going to show this real quick based on what William just said, and I'm going to put this disclaimer: if you got sensitive ears, plug them because there's a lot of profanity in this. But William just and I went and found it. So let me play this real quick.
After watching these
Am I sharing?
yeah.
Okay.
mm.
Okay.
videos,
Okay. So hold on.
after watching these videos I'm about to show you, I now understand why some of these kids act the way they act in 2026.
How the fuck with your grapefruit Mexican head ass just ask me for some noodles when your daddy just said we finna go out to eat? Oh, he did. I ain't hear him. I'll give your ass a damn doggy bag. Get your ass out my damn kitchen bag.
Talking about his head, you don't like the way he look. Where do you think he gets his head shape from?
Wake your ugly peanut head ass up. We don't sleep around here. This the military, mother.
God.
Wake up, ugly. Hey, wake your peanut head ass up.
Look at this, folks. I knew they was both real big. I knew it. Look how this Joker's eating. I bet she can barely read that. What is that, a Dr. Seuss book?
Can you help me with this? I'm not helping you with shit. That's what the fuck you go to school for. Mama, you supposed to help me too. I don't give a Throw that shit away.
This your man. Look at this. See,
pussy man.
what did I tell y'all, folks? Who a lot of these women find to screw and mate with, make babies with? Look at the quality of men.
Layla.
I know some people gonna say, oh, it's just satire, Guru. They just having fun with all this cussing and shit too.
One thing about me and two things for sure. This how I know y'all don't know me.
Look at that head.
Because when I get my tax money, a lot of my children say I'm broke. And then when they go to school, I'm going to spend it.
After watching these videos I'm about to show you, I now understand why some
Anybody?
It's
Well,
horrible.
I have a single dad. That's unfathomable. But I think that's just the bottom of the barrel. I think that number of people is so low. It just.
But that's what I deal with in my population that I work with. That's what I dealt with. That's what I dealt with. Where the mama is so mad at the daddy. Now, who knows if he was the biological father? He might not be the father. The way she was talking about him, you talk about the dad. You emasculate him, so he's going to grow up not liking women, and he's going to mistreat women based on how his mother treated him. When I was working with the city of Richmond and the Department of Justice, dealing with the guys coming out of jail, and they talking about their baby mamas and got different baby mamas. And they said, my mom, she was so mad at me because my dad left. And I look like my dad. So you get emasculated. So why would you show any emotions or things like that? Your emotions come from your mom. So that's crazy. I dealt with that so much. And when you try to counsel young men coming out of jail and things like that, and they got baby mamas, and it's tough. It's tough for them to hear reality. Be like, that's still my mom. I'll kill for my mom, but your mom is your trauma and your trigger. So that's tough.
Wow. Anybody else? And Soldier's Dream put the crying faces in the chat, and I feel you, Queen. I feel the same way. I was so disturbed. I had to release that energy because that was disturbing to me. Anybody else want to comment?
So when I looked at it, my biggest issue is, and I'm gonna tap into something that Shelley said. It's a small percentage, right? But it's 6 degrees of separation. So all of a sudden now you take that 2%, 3%, 2 generations, now it's 10%. 4 generations, now it's 25%. 6 generations, now it's 50%. And when you look at it like that, my first thought process is I'm always a optimist, but I'm a realist as well. And so you start seeing what our projection could be, and that's a bleak existence. How do we quickly lean on professionals like William to try to work to reverse this type of behavior? But people think that it's funny. They think it's cute. They think it's edgy. Think it has a shock value, and that's why they put it on social media. Because social media doesn't just support positivity; it promotes infamy more than it does positivity.
Facts. You're right. Absolutely right. Rondi, Shelly, y'all, either one of you guys want to comment before I bring it in?
I I hate seeing that.
What did you say?
I hate seeing that. I hate
Mm-hmm.
seeing um, people that look like us act like that, and for
Hmm.
everybody in the world to see that, you know, um, that is fuel for the other to really attack us. You know, um, why are they putting it out there anyways? Why are they
Hmm.
recording it? I don't understand why they're recording it. You know, um, I, because they're not going to get likes from us.
Hmm.
None of us is going to really be like, oh yeah, I agree with your sister. No, You know, if they're getting likes, they're getting likes for people that don't look like us,
Hmm.
who don't have our um, our good intentions in mind. They don't have good intentions, right? So I just I just it's just sad, and
Hmm.
I'm just mad that they're posting this
So
type of thing.
I just want to say this. Like in my other previous job, I worked for Child Protective Services. They would have a case. That's a case. Somebody done put a case on them already. They got child protectors knocking at their door. Wherever they live at, somebody done knocked on their door based on those videos. Those kids should be removed from the house. You know what I'm saying? Because that's mental abuse and it's most likely physical abuse. You know, and the kids are so numb to it. That's why you ain't see them crying or anything. They're numb to it. That's normal behavior. It, it's just sad because they're putting it out there because they're trying to make some money. You know, they think they're gonna make money by making these short videos and things to that nature, but you're using it as especially your children and things like that. That's just it's sad, but it's us that does it to us. If that
Mm.
makes sense, we
Yeah,
do it to
man.
our own self. You can't
Yes,
keep
sir.
blaming the white people. You can't
Right.
blame white people or anybody else. We do it to ourselves, and you think it's something. You know, I'm a protector. I've always been a protector of my children and strangers' children because somebody helped me when I was going through it. So that's my calling. So it's just sad that it couldn't have been me. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't have been me, man. I couldn't have been out there working out there because I'm taking everybody, the dog, everything. You can't have nothing. The parrot, everybody going to somewhere where they can be loved. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very disheartening. And even the child that she woke up, like the baby was asleep. And she's screaming at him and calling him ugly, and he waking up like what? So it's just like there over by where I live. There's a family that and I'm going to say it this way. It really disturbs me that when people are panhandling, they bring their children with them.
Hmm.
That really disturbs me. Like, we understand what you're doing, but do you understand the emotional damage that is being done to this child? And they did it so long that I literally saw them people out there from summer to winter. And one of the winter months, it one day it was so cold out. I didn't even want to go outside. And I saw them people out there with whatever it is they had around them babies, and they'll all the babies will always just be looking at something. And I was about ready to come home and call defects on them myself because I feel that that's child abuse. Not like when the temperature's like in the 30s and the 40s, and these kids are standing out all day. So it's a lot going on in the world. It's a lot going on, but we gonna bring it in. Yeah, but William, you made me think of that video when you said about the emasculating the men, and it's time for us to get to love. It is really time for us to get to love and compassion. um that's the only thing that's going to change the world. That's the only thing. And I know right now egos are so heightened that no one is thinking about love, but we really really got to get back to love. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Guys, great conversation. I knew it would be. I knew it would be. So I'm going to do this. Rondi, what final words, what final thoughts do you have on this conversation tonight? And of course, let the people know how they can get. Hold on, let me say this before you do. A soldier's dream asks, can we deduct that people like that are on government assistance? Just wondering.
Mm.
Anybody want to answer that question?
Well, it's interesting. I grew up on
In
public
my
assistance.
experience,
Yes,
that's
sir.
not always the case.
Not always the case.
That's
I
not
agree.
always the
Mm.
case. In my experience, it's not all
Mm.
the case.
And
Mm.
what were you about to say,
But in her
Alphonse?
case, she probably is.
Yeah, I was just gonna echo the same thing. I grew up on public assistance. My mom was stern, but she wasn't like that.
No.
And so it is not. in every case.
Mm, yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, looking at her and him, again, I told y'all I'm very analytical and I see beyond just what I see, and I see two broken little boy, a broken little boy and a broken little girl, and hurt
Amen.
people hurt other people. So whatever
Yep.
trauma that has happened in her life is it's that's just the broken little girl that's screaming and cursing and calling the little boys names and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's where therapy and work is needed. That's what I see in the situation. So yeah, so a soldier dream said noted, and she was just wondering. So good one. All right, Rondi, go ahead, bring it in for me, sir.
Mm. Uh, First thing,
Mhm.
I would I would kill for you.
Who you saying that to?
Right? What if someone says that to you? I will kill for you. Right? That's that. That goes back to the conversation that we got on earlier. Right?
Right. Right.
Spending all the time with the person. Right? That I was just thinking about. Like I will kill for you. Right? That it sounds crazy, but it goes along with that whole thing. Um, don't want to start no stuff again. Um,
Yeah, because in
but
my mind, I'm like, let's define what like. Are you talking about protecting me, or are you just, the therapist asked last week, how does a person handle anger, right? When how do they handle conflict? And if she said she was talking to a guy, and when she asked him that question in their initial dating, he said, he talked about how he had recently beat somebody up for whatever reason. She was like, okay, that X you out because you know is that actually necessary? So you'll have to define the killing for me. Is it something like, are you defending us, or I mean, that's a tricky one, Rondi. You
right, right. It is tricky. The whole thing is real tricky, you know. And it was supposed to be like, yeah, tricky. Like, would I want someone to do that? Huh? If they did do it, woo, right? Right. So it's very interesting. Um, these are great conversations, and I'm glad to be a part of it, especially with my brothers and my sister. Um, I'm Ron D, Chocolate Buddha. Um, Reach out to me on Instagram. Friend me on Instagram, Chocolate Buddha Yoga, and hope to see you guys soon.
nice. Thank
Peace.
you, Rondi. Appreciate you as
Yes,
always.
sir. Yes, sir.
Mm.
West Coast in the house. All right. All right. I'm going to do it this way. All right, William. What final words do you got? Comments, and then, of course, let the people know how they can get in touch with you if they choose to do so.
Uh, just to the men, man, just try to find your peace. It's hard to find peace, and I'm as me as a older gentleman and with kids and stuff. I'm trying to find my peace still. I found a little bit. I'm still
Mm.
looking. I'm
Amen.
still working. I'm still working. You got to. It's a work in progress. And to everybody that's listening, it's a work in progress to find your peace. Whether you're a man or a woman, and know who you are. Understand, know yourself, and choose what is essentially good for you. Always act with reason and respect. Know yourself. Explain yourself only to yourself.
Hmm.
That's my motto that I go by. Good, better, best. Never let the rest of your good is better than your best, and your best is better than best. Right?
Yes, sir.
And things to that nature. Just keep it moving and try to find your peace. Because it's when the storm is there, you got to find some peace. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I can be reached at on Facebook. I can be reached on Instagram. 5 heartbeats under clap. I don't even know my handle, but I'm on
You five
Instagram.
heartbeats. You five heartbeats.
Okay, all right. Oh, don't give me the line. I don't even know,
Hey, I
but
bet your
that's
wife
it.
could tell you.
All
I bet she
right.
can too. Yeah, she sure can. She's the one who
Uh,
set it up.
I know. I'm the same way. I call her. What's my account number? What's the username?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Um, dang, I had it. Look, y'all already know. I had a comment and it. Pew. Dang, what were you saying that made me have to? Okay. Anyway, Shelly Shells.
Just my usual. Learn, read, know yourself, find your peace, like William said. That's it. Stay focused, stay in your lane. Reach me at Shelly Sims on Facebook, ShellyJSims.com for any real estate, all real estate. I'm staying focused on real estate, Tam, this month. All real estate. Anything you need. Find me
Okay.
on real estate. That's it. And Alpine, you travel?
For from north to east, and for you know what it is, from east to
So
west, west to
multi
east.
B. So
You know what I'm
multi
saying?
B.
Yes, sir.
And I do too. And I do too. I travel
Okay,
as well.
that's what's
Hey.
up. That's what's up. Knew y'all was some solid guys already. Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes,
Huh?
sir. Yes, sir.
Look,
Texas
Yes,
in the
sir.
house. I love it.
All
Texas.
right,
look.
that
Do
And
I
was
need
in
Prince
to
that
put?
Hall
song.
is a key.
Yes, sir.
Look, do I need to put together a men's retreat? Um,
Exactly.
Hey, that's it though. And to my brothers, travel light is all.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Always to the
amen.
east.
That's it.
Amen. Hey,
Yes,
listen, we're
sir.
gonna talk, Shelly. As you will. That's what's up.
Yeah.
As always.
Mhm.
Yeah, but okay, so I know what it was. I was going to say when William was talking about finding peace, and Shelley, you added to as well. Those books that you guys talked about really kind of guided people to the peace because the
Mm-hmm.
peace really comes from within. That's where
Mm-hmm.
that's where you got to start to really get to that peaceful place. Your
Mhm.
happiness, your peace, your everything. It really everything you need is in here. Your heart
Yes,
has
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. All right. And Alpine, thank you so much. I appreciate you again for being here with us. The value add. Thank you. So, what final words do you have, and how can the people get in contact with you?
All right, I'll be brief. Listen, thank you for the platform, Tammy B. Listen, Ron D. Shelly, as well as Will, thank you for the jewels that you've dropped in my life. It's always good to talk to brothers who want to sow seeds. First thing I want to say is that be the change you want to see in the world. If you see something that needs to be different, be the difference. And once you be the difference, that's infectious. No matter if it's just your kids will then reach out to other kids, their oikos, and then their oikos will reach out to their oikos. So you plant one seed and you find yourself having a garden faster than you think. It is 6 degrees of separation. Learn to communicate with groups that want to support you and see you win. If we do not stand with each other, there's nobody who's going to stand with us. And so we have to get to the point where we understand we have to stand together. And that also means that sometimes we have to fight together. Freedom ain't free. Just like there's nothing free in Freemasonry but the word free in Freemasonry,
Mm.
freedom is not free. If you are not willing to die for your freedom, you will live for their mediocrity. So always be encouraged. Love you all, brother. I appreciate you guys. All right,
Mm,
you can always reach me at Alp on Instagram, Alpine3. You can reach me at Facebook, author Reginald McAlpine. You can tune in Amazon or We Buy Black. I got my book, Ramology, Note to Self, because if you don't know self, you won't know anything else. Also, I Am a Black Man, Ascension of the King. And I also have a Masonic book, A Master Mason's First Step. All of those can be found on We Buy Black or Amazon. Appreciate you guys.
love it. Love it. Love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you guys. Thank you, Alpine. Thank you, Rondi. Thank you, Shelly. Listen, okay, so and thank you guys for sticking in with us. So let me just go ahead and speed race through this. So listen, for those who don't know me, I am Tammy B. I am a coach, spiritual mentor, transformational speaker. You can get more information about me at www.tammib.com. Saturday, August 1st. Pause, breathe, bro. You matter. Listen, it's going down. Studio House Atlanta. And if you can't make it in person, there are virtual tickets available so you can watch online from the comfort of your home. And know that Um, and even if you're just not even available that day, you will have access for 30 days. Hold on, just okay, there. And right now this week until Monday, the tickets are buy one get one free. So help us spread the word. Listen, this is a movement. So definitely help us get the word out. And so as always, with much love and gratitude, I just say thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to the gentlemen. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. And listen, if you can support us, either like or share this message with others, and also subscribe. We're here weekly at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content. So I want to, in closing, I want to leave you all with this. Just some mental health reminders. Know this. And this one is for the men. One, you don't have to man up all the time. Two, opening up about your feelings makes you strong and brave. Three, you are never a burden. Four, it's okay to cry and feel sad. And I already know some of y'all not agreeing with me, but I'm okay with that. Five, struggling doesn't make you weak. And six, it's okay to ask for help. And listen, we're going to dive into some of these topics and more Saturday, August 1st. So listen, as always, I love you guys. Stay amazing. Peace, love, and blessings. Good night.